my feeling, and like I say, I'm just a little behind a photo bowl here. I got copies for you gentlemen of the policy program that the government is looking for, the state of New York. I didn't print enough copies, I should realize that, so you have to share, but just for what it's worth. There's 4 copies to spread around.
You gave me that.
I think I gave you that last week.
I've seen these numbers
Yep.
anyway, yeah.
And they want New York State to get 50% of its energy from non-fossil fuels by 2030. So how are you going to do that?
By cutting down everybody's elections.
They're going to take and look at things. If you want to get some details on it, they talked about New York State's renewable energy policy. You can go online and look at the rest of it. They're looking at renewable energy from several sources. Large-scale renewable energy strategy. They're looking at building efficiency to try to make buildings more, efficient, so we don't lose money for heating. They're looking at financing, ways that the private people, venture capital, or whatever, to finance solar so that the public doesn't have to pay for all of it. And basically, to get to that 50%, that's one of the reasons we've hammered so hard on these pipelines. You cannot get there by increasing the use of gas. The more gas you use, the less it hurts this. When you start looking at solar energy, sure, a 20 energy wind farm, oh my goodness. White has had an issue. When you look at, let's look at the Community Health Center in Delhi. They used to be the County Care Center. They now just put a $1.9 million pilot program. Well, that's what it's going to reduce the taxes to Delaware County by $1.9 million. It's going to provide 170 jobs. So, as a pilot, you could say, well, that's probably a good thing. 170 jobs, that sounds interesting. Do you think that one guy in a pickup truck is going to go around and build 2 or 3 20-acre solar farms? No, he's not. They don't look at the jobs that are involved in the alternative energies. There are jobs that are going to create. Jim Tucker up there, Catskill Solar, he put $175,000 on SUNY Delhi's roof, and had several people helping him. That creates jobs. So I guess my feeling is that having incentives. If we can give $1.9 million incentive for the healthcare center for 170 jobs, why can't we give incentives to the solar companies? Make it a pilot or something, so they pay maybe half, like the Millennium Pipeline was going to do and other things, so that some of this money does create jobs other than, well, I'm running out of gas. So anyway, I'm just saying that I think the county's not necessarily going the right direction for New York State by taking and starting to consider taxing solar farms, whereas they should look at pilots or something for those commercials, just like they did with the fossil fuel energy and the gas companies.
And that's basically
that's
what they're doing down.
Yes, and that's where they need to take
they're
and
not,
focus on that.
if I'm not mistaken, the county wants you to go into a host community, there's four words, a host community benefit package, or something like that, which is basically the same thing as a pilot, but it is not a pilot. But it's an agreement between the commercial business and the county, town, I guess it'd be between the town,
Okay.
on a agreed upon amount of money, that the commercial business would pay. And by the way, 70% of these solar panels are government money anyway, between grants and tax incentives, which I guess has been looked over when a pipeline is probably, most of that money is company invested. But solar systems most of them are, tax incentives and grants and stuff up to the 70% is what, when we looked into it last year, 70% was funded by grants and tax incentives.
Mm-hmm.
So that's taxpayers' money, it's not a company putting this money up.
And do grants go to anything else? I mean, didn't a few towns get grants from the pipeline companies? Grants? So grants come
I'm not
from
sure,
places.
yes, they do, right, but what percentage of it, Don?
But
I mean, I guess that's what I'm looking at.
you have to look at the cost if you look at the cost of what the fossil fuel industries have cost us with the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act exemptions, we're cleaning up the messes all the time now of these things that have a social cost. You might just as well take tax dollars
Now,
and say pay them directly.
well, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
I'm
So
just saying, you know,
yeah.
that I'm sure there has been tax dollars put into petroleum companies. I guess that's how you call it. Fossil fuel companies,
Yeah.
whether, however you wanna call it, there's no doubt. But, you know, and I'm not against solar, don't get me wrong on that, but, you
No,
know,
I'm just,
the town, as far as, what I'm speaking, Jim's not here, is I'm for the, opting out, because, and then it is a pilot program, same as what Hancock has, Millennium Pipeline has. You know, they're not gonna agree, yeah, I'm gonna pay 100% of the assessed value. That's what a pilot program is. It's two parties coming together on a agreeable amount.
and you're giving away tax dollars.
You are, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, just, right.
But if,
Is
but,
that different than
okay,
federal
but
grants?
at least, I would say it's not near as much as the tax grants, when these systems are how many millions and millions and, well, no, I think it's billions they're talking here. But that's beside the point,
But that's, yeah.
you know, but I'm just saying, I don't think a commercial business, even if the pipelines come through, if they ever did, you know, I was against any pilot program on a commercial business. So why should I treat solar different than I treat pipelines?
Because we need to meet certain energy requirement things.
Which
as we
are
go
just
forward,
political.
Or we cook the planet. They
Really?
could be political. or not.
Jeez,
And it- well,
Just
and that-
political,
okay,
and you
and
have to
that
have
is a
backup
personal
power
opinion.
anyway, or the lights will go off at night when there's no solar.
And that,
Is it
and
solar
Don,
powered?
that is a
Not proven
personal
solar.
opinion, we'll just stop it there.
But that's what, we can debate it all night. Thank you.
We can't. Thank you, Don.
By stopping this gas pipeline, gas is gonna go to $3 a gallon down by the end of the year, period. And then all the businesses, like I have down state, we start shutting down, okay?
What are you gonna do with Amphenol? What are you gonna do with the, remember?
Amphenol had, Amphenol had all the gas they wanted, it was gonna come from the Dominion pipeline, that went away as soon as Leatherstocking brought this up. They could have gone to Leatherstocking, could have brought them to
Well,
there,
Raymond
and
Corp.
it could have gone to Raymond Corp right from City.
Well, one of it, Mr. King Como, they already promised them they were gonna have that pipeline.
They can come from Dominion, they don't need the Constitution.
They
It's
just
already
look like
there.
corporations.
So,
The corporations.
Anything won't go
Yeah,
through.
will be with the one-
They are vast corporations that have helped them have it. Now, why are these okay?
I'm a corporation.
Is there anything else?
by the way.
Okay.
No, excuse me, so what's your last
I made a
name?
motion to adjourn.
I just
I second it.
H-E, B-B-A-R-D.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Thank you for bringing it to the floor.
I did.
Here, there you go. Can we do that?
The motion's in order, I
Okay.
guess.
I seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. We're gonna miss, I'll have Jim here next month early. Oh, not here, Treble.
Yeah.